Morning PTube, hope everyone's good. So, for those that don't know, Easy has returned. He hasn't been to prison. He has allegedly been arrested and told that he can't go online, blah blah blah, this, that and the other. And then later down the line he's had no further action. Now I say allegedly because so Easy did a live yesterday afternoon, trying to imply proper clickbait shit or whatever, trying to imply that Taff hadn't been arrested or whatever, and all this shit. So, not being funny Easy, but how do we know that you is arrested and you've had no further action or any of this, what you're coming out with now? You've only got your word for it. Not being funny, but you've said since you've been back or whatever that part of your conditions was to stay offline. Now, early on, just after your apparently you was arrested or whatever, in the weeks after that, there was a few accounts popped up. People kept saying, "That's easy, that. Look at the wording, look at the spelling," and bringing up certain comments that you've said and done in the past which match the imperfections, if you like, of the comments that you do, right, Easy? So you was obviously online despite your apparently not being allowed online. Now, a lot of people did think and had said, including myself, Easy will be a different guy when he comes back, if he comes back. This experience will change him. He will hopefully start to be able to see that he's been used by the usual suspects, the old bags that he was groomed by. And it, you know, he would hopefully have a different outlook when he comes out and have his shit together a bit better. Now, Easy's managed to prove us all wrong and come out and done pretty much the same shit as he did when he left. All for views, all for attention. Just typical fucking troll activity. And he thinks it's entertaining and amusing, and he somehow thinks it looks good doing these things or whatever. Now, the live that he did in the afternoon, he was saying he wanted to speak to Taff, blah blah blah, this, that and the other. A few people, including myself, said, well, why don't you just actually have a discussion, actually have a chat, rather than just all this fucking clickbait bullshit. A few people, I think it was All Eyes on You, said, well, Taff is at work, you know, you're literally just talking to yourself at this moment in time and with no purpose, because Taff's not even about. Why don't you do something later when Taff's at home, or maybe at weekend? So Easy said, right, alright, I'm going to do a live later, 8 or 9 o'clock, somewhere around there, and they'll have this discussion or whatever. Now, as far as I know, Taff was willing to show Easy his crime number, crime reference number, etc. Not that you had to, not being funny, but it's nobody's business but Taft's. Same as it would be nobody's business but Easy's. If anyone's asking for proof, paperwork, whatever. It's YouTube, it's not fucking court. Do you know what I mean? Nobody owes anybody for call or whatever. Nobody has to explain anything to anybody. People will either believe your words or think that you're full of shit. It doesn't matter whether you're Taft, it doesn't matter whether you're Easy. People will draw their own conclusions regardless. Now, the people that used Easy originally and groomed Easy originally was literally straight in there like a rat up a drain pipe. Oh, make me mod, make me mod, make me mod. Mainly people like me. So all we're going to see realistically is just a rerun of all the bullshit that Easy's been pulled into. We're just going to see that same shit over and over again. Now, all that he ended up with last time is clippers around his channel, trolls around his channel. Anybody decent came away. Even Jupiter even Jupiter threw the towel in on that shit or whatever. And that's Jupiter. That should tell you all you need to know, realistically. I mean, to my knowledge, there's only 2 people in these little communities that have actually admitted that they are addicted to YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a fucking drug or whatever. Now, when people are addicted to a substance or anything, generally that substance or whatever it is that they're addicted to will come before anything and everything, including family, etc. And we've seen that with these 2. You know what I mean? It seems to come before everything or whatever. It's like these people that are addicted to YouTube are living their life through YouTube. That is their life. YouTube, do you know what I mean? With Jupiter, everybody can see it. When you're doing multiple lives a day, every day, you can see there's like a problem with their real life or whatever. Real life for them is a lot less exciting than being a troll cunt on YouTube, causing problems, bringing problems, dragging everyone into problems. That's a proper addiction. Neglecting real life, you know what I mean? The things in your real life are being neglected for your addiction. So yeah, it's a mad situation now. Taft did a live off the back of Easy doing a live or whatever. I didn't even see Easy's live or whatever. Taft did a live last night and said to Easy, you know, fuck all that, whatever. Jump on, come with the same fucking energy you had this afternoon or whatever. Now I'm not in work, let's have it. And Taft will have it, do you know what I mean? Taft will have it. But that wasn't going to case, easy, didn't jump on, probably wanted the views for his channel. Typical troll fucking behaviour, call shit out and whatever, and then fucking hide away from it. So yeah. Now if I was Taff, I wouldn't even rise to it. You've done it once, I wouldn't bother doing it again. I just wouldn't give him any attention. Just leave him sat with the old bag fucking trolls that we all know are trolls, that probably reported both of you, to be fair, because that's the type of cunt you're dealing with cunts like me. Yeah. Now, there is people around the situation where they will think it's funny, they will think it's entertainment in itself, that people can lose their jobs, people can be sent to prison, people can be separated from their family while these things happen and whatever. To some people this shit is funny, this shit is just pure raw entertainment, and at that point in time, realistically, people should be looking how to separate themselves from people like that or whatever. Now, in my opinion, Moon is well up there. Not being funny, but who does Moon know along the way, before, during and now, who isn't a troll, realistically? Everyone that Moon knows has been or is a fucking troll. Now, you're going to struggle to show me where Moon's not a troll, when she walks like a troll, she talks like a troll, she acts like a troll, and everyone she knows is a troll. You're going to struggle to convince me any other. Not being funny, but wasn't that long ago Moon was hissing and pissing about, oh well, Taffy needs grassing up, because if Easy's been done, then Taffy needs to be done. And then we had the whole thing around Big Bad Rick show, re-putting out what Moon had said, blah blah blah, and people trying to mislead people into, oh well, you know, I was just trying to prove this and prove that, and hashtag free Taffy or whatever. Now, if you have a look at the people that are on there, generally, most of the time or whatever, is it not generally trolls anyway or whatever? A lot of people keep referring to that channel like he this, he that, his, whatever. How do you know it's a man? How do you know it's a guy? I mean, Jupiter said, oh, that's fucking Den Tarragon's channel. Noticed I seem to get the blame for everything. Bit weird, but yeah, we are where we are. I'd be more inclined to have an open mind if I was people on YouTube or whatever. Not everything that is wrote on the can is generally in the can. Not being funny, but a couple of examples. Wake Up UK. You would anticipate that would be a channel about waking people up to the things that are going on in the UK, wouldn't you? But yet, as we all now know, it's about keeping people asleep to problems and silencing anybody that speaks out by using doxing tactics, going for your family members, etc. So there's one example. I think there's a few examples of these things around anyway. I think it's interesting that people that know these things, like about Wake Up UK and whatever, that know full well, yeah, these people have been doxing people, these people have been assisting scammers trying to fucking fleece veterans while allowing a plan of getting the veterans to storm Parliament based on bullshit paperwork out of a fucking scrapbook from a sweaty old scammer that's been scamming people for 20 years. The people that are around that and fucking protective of that wanker, people like Jupiter, people like Moon, people like Babs, they've all said, yeah, we knew. Wake Up UK did a platform and had Kaylee and others on there to try and convince the world that Tommy was poisoning Eric's dogs and setting Eric's cars on fire and all this other bullshit. We knew all that, but we're happy to keep supporting it and fucking cheerleading for it anyway. So these are the people that are around. These are the people that people have somehow dismissed all the shit that goes on. People like Jupiter saying, oh, you know, I'm losing an argument, so dig up your kids, all this other fucking vile shit. That when kids have been murdered and whatever, this shit's normal. Now, they're the type of people that should be and probably will end up sat round easier again in the forthcoming weeks, because realistically people like Jupiter are struggling now for communities to sit fucking shit stirring in. So Easy has kind of come at the right time, and it will just be the same shitfest that it was last time. ESO will be sniffing around trying to get a platform, same again. Bleeding, same again. These people have not got a community to go in. Most people, 90% of YouTube, won't give these cunts time of day, and rightly so. Now, why anybody is around people like Jupiter at this present moment in time, knowing not everything that you know, is beyond me. Same again, you would hope that people would have learnt some lessons along the way and the experience would have changed them people or whatever, but it's not. It's just actually not. People it seems to be the season for doubling down on bullshit. I don't get it. For me, anytime there's an issue, a problem, a situation or whatever, I'll always pull something good out of it, even if it is just a lesson learned. There will be something comes out of it positive. For some people, that is just not the case. For me personally, I just think it's mad. People go through a situation and not learn anything and then double down on the madness or whatever. Yeah, it's just a mad situation. What the fuck are you doing? Fuck out my way. Now, there are some good people on YouTube. That are actually doing a good thing on YouTube and whatnot now. Certain people's channels like Luke and whatever started out as a banter channel, it was described as. Now, if you look at Luke now or whatever, he'll have it with any of them and pretty much fucking destroy these lefty no good wankers with, well, single-handedly, with nothing but facts and evidence, and has these little lefties triggered left, right and centre, throwing all the fucking toys out the pram, spitting the dummies out and all sorts of shit. Taff can do a good live when he wants to, with a topic that, you know, the topic that fucking matters to everybody. But these people will be dragged down by the likes of Jupiter, do you know what I mean? The thing is, when people have got no credibility, they will cling to people that do have credibility. They do that for their own purpose, not for your purpose. They do it for themselves. Now, out of everybody in these communities or whatever, the one that's kept it clean, kept the wrong guns away, discarded the fucking trolls that come around and whatever, and just kept it clean for everybody else, is the person that has actually done the best out here, and that's fucking Dave Smith. His channel, I think it's got about 65,000, maybe 70,000 subs or whatever, and he's not even had the channel that long. Not like Jupiter, that's had it for fucking years, it's got multiple channels. And realistically, what does Jupiter do? She runs through everybody's fucking content, uses their content for her content, and then cries and start calling people fucking names and all sort. If they say to her, you know, like DJ E, you know what I mean, when he said nicely, can you stop playing my content, especially while it's live, I don't get the revenue from that, and this is actually my job or whatever. He travels around all over the UK and gets the content, puts himself on the front line. So to have someone like Jupiter then milking off that for her own ego, and Jupiter says, oh, I didn't try and make money from the riot. She did, and she was using his content at the end of the day. So obviously he weren't happy because he weren't getting the revenue after that. I mean, for 10 days that she was playing his content, it was fine then. Oh, he's a good guy, blah blah blah. As soon as he's got an issue, her using his content and losing him revenue, oh, he's this, he's that, he's the other, he's not a nice guy. This is a typical fucking narcissist cunt of a woman or whatever. Not being funny, but when you've got a couple like her and Hector that are sat there praying for abuse to happen to fucking children, these people are as wonky as you fucking want to see it as what it is. And when they're not praying for abuse to happen to children that they've lost arguments on YouTube with or whatever, you've got Jupiter so fucking angry and triggered that she's making songs up about digging up dead children that have been murdered, just to like get one over on somebody or whatever. Now, to me, that's the mark of a scumbag, the mark of a shit cunt. Now, why anybody, and I do mean anybody, would be around that sort of scumbag is beyond me. It's proper beyond me. The fact that I've seen people that have witnessed all this shit and whatever, and then doubling down on the, oh, at least you know where you stand with Jupiter, blah fucking blah. Yeah, you do know where you stand. You do know where you stand. If you stand against Jupiter or don't agree with her bullshit or whatever, you will be the next person that she's fucking trying to rip the shit out of, etc. And yeah, you will be attacked or whatever. Not being funny, but all the people that are like around Jupiter now have all been attacked by Jupiter at one point in time or another. Was there a reasonable reason for the attacks, or did you just go against the narrative? Or don't agree with something here and there, and then the attacks come? Again, the mark of a narcissist. Now, I'm not being funny, but how many people has Jupiter said, oh, this one's hope not hate, this one's hope not hate, blah blah blah, even including Wendy. Oh, Wendy's hope not hate, I believe that now, I see that now, blah blah blah. And realistically, if that was the case or whatever, how are you explaining that now when you sat back with her again? How does that make sense? I mean, not being funny, but how many people around Jupiter have been shown to be informants to people like Hope Not Hate, Prevent, the police in general? How many phone calls, grassing people up and whatever, have these lot actually made? They've admitted to many, but how many they actually made realistically? These people are part of the problem. They're not part of the solution, obviously. And this is why I warned Danny Roscoe at the time or whatever. I mean, I was using Bleeding Heart and ESO as the guiding tool, if you like. Bear in mind, it was on Jupiter's show with Danny Roscoe. If I'd have started pointing the finger directly at Jupiter, I would have just been booted, wouldn't I? But it's one of them, innit? A lot of people judge people by the company they keep, the company that they fucking choose to keep, the so-called friends that they have around them. Just stand back and have a look. Stand back and have a look. You tell me you think by being around these people that you're on the right side of history. How? Where? When? Now, Jupiter has literally covered up for Hope Not Hate several times. Several times that you're all aware of. So, what's the deal there? Why would Jupiter, who claims to be a patriot, be covering up for Hope Not Hate? Why would she do that? You don't have to answer, you don't have to jump on the live and fucking do a video about it. Just ask yourself the fucking simple question. It's not hard, is it? Now, for me, it's as simple as this. The arguments of left and right and whatever are already won. They've been won a long time ago. The left stopped trying to fucking argue these things out, debate these things out and whatever, and jumped straight from doing that to infiltrating groups and just causing shit, trying to stir up problems, trying to cause division, divide in amongst anything of worth. The moment that GMP came out and had to apologise for failures and fuck-ups and turning a blind eye to the grooming that had been going on for the last 40 years plus, the moment they did that, the left changed their tactics into infiltration. Now, I believe that people like Jupiter, people like Moon, have come from the left, and they're infiltrating groups, infiltrating channels, and just causing nothing but shit, problems, and doing the same shit over and over and over again, learning no lessons along the way, and just keep making it worse and worse and worse. Now, obviously Jupiter has got a serious addiction to YouTube. Obviously, she's admitted that herself, same as Isa. Could it just be that she's bipolar or something, and she's got some narcissistic fucking disorder going on mixed in with that or something? I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor. But there's something not right. You cannot explain the actions versus the words of somebody like Jupiter. Is Wendy Hope not hate? You said she is, but is she? Because you sat with her again now, aren't you, Jupiter? Moon told everybody, I'm going to report everyone to prevent and fucking Hope not hate, and then Jupiter's asking for the phone number of Hope not hate, and then Moon the next day say, I didn't say that, I didn't say Hope not hate, blah fucking blah. Jupiter said that, and then Jupiter's asking for the fucking... Yeah, you can try, look dickhead, see what happens, I'll write you off. So, yeah, we are where we are with these things. People are going to look at things in a different way or whatever. For me, I've always said from day one, my time on YouTube and whatever is limited. I don't sit on YouTube all day. It isn't my life. I wish I had the fucking free time to sit about on YouTube all day that people like Jupiter do, putting fucking 9-hour shifts in and shit. You know what I mean? She's on YouTube more than people are at fucking work on a daily basis. So even when she goes on holiday, it's like, oh look, YouTube. It's like, what the fuck? Sad existence. But we are where we are. All I would say realistically is anybody that is on the right side of history and you want to actually do some fucking good for the country or whatever, just think about things, stand back, have a look at the situation and look what it looks like to everybody else that you are around and okay with the behaviour of the people that you're now sat with or whatever. Now, I do get the Team A, Team B fucking bullshit or whatever, and you think, well, this person's on the right side of an argument, so I should really stand with that person. Yeah, I agree to a degree, but then you've got to weigh into the fact, well, what has this person said and done along the way? Is this going to make me look a cunt in any way, shape or fucking form? If it does, is it actually worth standing with this person because they're on the right side of an argument? To me, it would be a strong no. By co-signing people's bullshit, people assume you're co-signing all the other shit, especially if you've not called her out for it. I mean, you know, if anybody cannot call somebody out for singing songs about digging up dead children that have been murdered, in my mind, you're a weak fucking excuse for a man or a woman. A woman, even worse, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? You don't expect these things from women. Maybe fucking somebody like Rose West or something, but yeah, that would be the limit, I would have thought. But for some people, no, just sit around Jupiter and whatever, because she's on the right side of an argument. Not being funny, but have a think about how trolls infiltrate groups. If anyone's not watched the film that's out at the moment called The Walk In, maybe have a watch that or whatever. It highlights the way that fucking Hope Not Hate move and whatever. Shows the tactics that they use, etc. Just have a look at the present situation before, during and after what has gone on, and see if you can spot any similarities. I think you will, to be honest. And at that point, you may actually learn something along the way or whatever, and figure out what's actually going on around you, and what you may or may not be being pulled into. Because at the end of the day, 90% of people around can see these things for what they are. If you choose not to want to fucking see it or whatever, and continues to co-sign these things, people will draw their own conclusions regardless of your feelings. It is that simple. That should tell you everything you need to know. Dave has kept it clean, got rid of all these fucking rats and trolls and fucking Hope Not Hate agents, and he's done nothing but grow his channel to the point where he's approaching 70,000 fucking subs. For a channel that's not been around that long, he's doing really fucking well. Now, I did tell Easy on a comment or whatever, my last comment last night or whatever. Well, no, yesterday afternoon it was. And I basically said that I'm not around much or whatever. Certainly not getting dragged into the bullshit and whatever. And when you can see things have not changed and people have doubled down on dumb shit or whatever, I'll just stay out of it. I'll leave them to it. As I said, you know, stay safe, blah blah blah. And that'll be that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna waste 1 minute of my time around bullshit that is just fucking same shit, different day, same shit, different day. I'm not gonna waste my time around that shit. Not when I can see that these people are part of the problem rather than part of the solution. I'll put a video out later today of the only people that I do actually support fully. The people with bollocks rather than just talking shit online or whatever and trying to borrow other people's credibility. And that's people like CMW that actually take things offline and go and do actions. Now, all that people like CMW need is the will of the people, the support of the people, and they can actually make change. They can actually bring lawful resolve, lawful solution to the fucking problems that we're all facing. And it's nothing to do with race, it's nothing to do with left or right or whatever. It's to do with the fucking law holding people to account. We didn't even have to have Keir Starmer in power. If people would have got behind CMW at the time. Nah, don't post that. I'm alright. Fucking post shit through my door one call. So, yeah, well, where we are. That's all I would say. Just stand back and have a look at the situation and figure out, are you implicating yourself to some madness, some bullshit, some waste of time, and is it worth it realistically? Not being funny, but there's enough strong people to stand on their own 2 feet and build something of worth themselves, build a little community of worth themselves. Luke could do that, not a problem. Taffy could do that, not a problem. Just the same as Dave's done. I'm not saying don't argue with people from the left or whatever. I mean, Luke is absolutely fucking destroying him. Dave is absolutely destroying him. It's just one of them, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's time should be the most precious thing, realistically. All I would suggest is just use it wisely. Do you know what I mean? We haven't got all the time in the world. Every day that goes on, we've got another 600 fucking illegals arriving or whatever, and that's probably going to get more and more as we get through to the warmer days and weeks through summer for crossing the channel and whatever. Yeah, it's a mad situation. I mean, I spotted the problems a long time ago, years ago or whatever, and I've put measures in place years ago or whatever, which are finalised now and whatnot, and I know for a fact my family will be safe or whatever. I would never want to uproot from this country or whatever. That would be the last option, if you like, or whatever. I believe you fight hard now, you deal with the problems, you get resolved. But everyone needs a fucking fallback plan or whatever. At the end of the day, your family should be the most fucking sacred thing to you or whatever, and if you can protect that, you do so. If you don't, then do you know what I mean? Where does that end or whatever? So, like I say, I've had things put in place for years or whatever. I know for a fact, no matter what, my family will be safe in the forthcoming years, where this country will turn into a civil war situation or whatever. Do I want my kids around that? No. Do I want my family around that? No. There's not many things holding me back to this country, if I'm honest. The things that was at the time or whatever, situations fucking change or whatever. People that you care about pass away and whatnot, and all of a sudden you've not really got that many things to keep you here. Not being funny, but places like Poland, the estimated terrorism problem is 0.2%, and that's calculated for 2050. What state will this country be in by 2050, realistically, on the present course that we're on right now? So I think that's all I'm gonna say for today. Hope everyone's good. Hope everyone's enjoying the lovely weather. And yeah, stay safe, look after each other. Yeah, that's about it. Enjoy the day.